Hey friends, it's February 1st, 2019. It's snowing outside, the Midwest is frozen, and it's been 2 years since I found out about the Dune remake, and I've been getting great news about casting. This movie is gonna be a trip.
I'm a monster. I'm a monster.
Now, obviously, if you read the title of the video, which I would assume you had, you know that this is not going to be a video discussion about the new Dune remake or the book Dune at all. Though maybe it could be. It's actually going to be another part of my Books of 2K series. And I've put off doing this, obviously, a while. It's February. And I've put off doing it because I really didn't want to admit that I had such a bad reading year. It was just not a good literary year. I only read 2 books. I didn't participate in NaNoWriMo. I changed jobs, which made me busy, stressed. Reading became unenjoyable for me for 2018 because I have a self-imposed rule about reading where once I start a book, I can't start a new book until I finish the book I'm reading. Which means when I'm reading a book I don't like, I just stop reading it and then don't read anything. Which is entirely counterintuitive. I need to break myself of the habit of not reading because I don't want to finish the book I'm reading. I need to just let myself stop reading the book and not go back to it. In 2018, I only read 2 books, and I'm going to show them to you right now. The first book I read in 2018 was American Gods. I read American Gods in 2018. This book took me a while to get through because it's a long book. The writing is a little bit denser than I'm used to from Neil Gaiman, and there's a lot going on in the book, so it's a lot to internalize and unpack. But I really did enjoy it. A majority of the book was read on the return trip from Colorado when I helped my friend move in February of 2018. We drove the 3 days out to move her, unpacked, and hung out for like a day, and then me, her mom, and her mom's friend drove 3 days back to the East Coast. And because I was in the back seat that whole time, I read this book. It was a good book. I did enjoy it. I haven't read a Neil Gaiman book that I haven't enjoyed, so, you know, that one's good. The second book I read in 2018 was not a long book. In fact, it's not long at all compared to some of the other books I read. But it took me a very long time to get through because for some reason I just didn't enjoy it. It did not capture me until like almost the very, very end. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit like disappointed with this book, which sucks because it's the last book in a series that I really liked. So in a way, I'm kind of disappointed with the end of the series. And that book is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, which is book 4 of the Raven Cycle series, and I really like the Raven Cycle. I know it's kind of a polarizing book series for people, but I did enjoy it for the most part, but I really just didn't like this book, which bothers me, A, because I love, love, love this cover, and B, because a lot of the book focused on Adam and Ronan, which I love, and I love the Adam and Ronan aspect of the book, but I don't know, just as far as books go, it was very disappointing to me. I find a lot of times I'm disappointed by the last book in a series. I don't know why. I was disappointed by Ironside, the end of the Harry Potter series, just like the 19 years later or whatever that is, that kills me. I'm not that big a fan of Goliath in the Leviathan series, but I love the Leviathan series. I don't know, it's just the last book in a series is rarely my favorite. So these are the only 2 books I read in 2018, and I'm disappointed in that, but, you know, what you gonna do? I'm already making efforts to read more in 2019. When I changed jobs, I stopped bringing books with me to work to read during my break. I've stopped doing that, so I bring a book with me, and I try to read every day. I don't read every single day because other things catch my interest, but I read most of the week during my 30-minute lunch break, so I get through my books. And then I try to read for like an hour, 2 hours every single weekend while I listen to my Discover Weekly playlist, depending on how long the playlist is. So I have those dedicated times to read, and then if I just feel like reading, I just read. So I'm already doing better in 2019. So I have a stack of books behind the camera that I'm looking at that are all books I bought in 2018 that I have to read. And another self-imposed rule of reading that I don't need to follow, but I do. I won't put a book on my bookshelf until after I've read it. So they're all sitting there on my little end table because I need to read them. So I need to, you know, read. I hope I'm in frame because I've already filmed this video once before and I don't want to film it again. So that's about it. I will post another video when I feel like posting another video.